Michael Julian Johnson was born on June 4th, 1986, in St. Louis, Missouri, the youngest of three siblings. His father died suddenly of a heart attack when Michael was just 10, an event he later described as searing and traumatic. That loss sparked a quiet rage in him, which he channeled into athletics, initially football and wrestling in high school, then a short stint playing college football on scholarship. When he transferred to a community college, his wrestling skills earned him recognition, and his path toward martial arts began. Inspired by a desire to master his anger and find purpose, Johnson transitioned into mixed martial arts in 2008. He quickly claimed regional titles in Midwest Fight League and Stream Cage fighting. He was an intense competitor, combining wrestling roots with emerging striking skills. In 2010, he earned a spot on The Ultimate Fighter Season 12 after persistently attending auditions. He rose to the finals, proving he belonged in the UFC, and officially debuted that December, earning runner-up status with a hard-fought decision. From the beginning, Johnson showcased versatility. He combined thudding takedowns, crisp striking, and an unshakable heart. He knocked out Edward Falolotto in his UFC debut, followed by a highlight reel KO over Danny Castillo that won Knockout of the Night. Over the next several years, he cemented his reputation as both dangerous and durable, engaging in memorable battles with Tony Ferguson, Joe Lauzon, Edson Barbosa, Nate Diaz, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, and Khabib Nurmagomedov. His win over Ferguson in 2012 and his brutal war with Gaethje in 2017 earned Fight of the Night honors. The Gaethje battle in particular became a modern classic, wild, violent, and utterly savage. Johnson was praised for walking through hellfires of leg kicks and knees and knocking Gaethje down, though he ultimately succumbed in the second round. That fight was later voted Best Fight of the Year, a testament to his warrior mentality. But his career also contained painful lows. In fights with top-tier opponents like Khabib in 2016 and a devastating KO loss to Brian Mendoza in 2023, Johnson endured times when he looked worn down by years in the cage. Frequently competing against the best, he oscillated between brilliant victories and brutal defeats. Regardless, he persisted, never fading quietly, always stepping up to the next challenge. At UFC 318 in New Orleans on July 19, 2025, Johnson entered the main card bout against 26-year-old Daniel Zellhuber, a rising star with a long reach and vicious kicking game. Many pegged Johnson as a fading veteran, but he brought something else: experience, craft, and a need to remind the world he still belonged. He entered the Octagon at age 39, tying for the third most appearances in lightweight division history, a feat only Clay Guida and Jim Miller surpass. From the opening bell, Johnson fought smart and measured. Zellhuber threw heavy body kicks and straight punches. Johnson absorbed them, countered with sharp combinations, and seized control in round 2 when a powerful counter left Zelly stumbling. Even though the young contender had been crowned Fight of the Night twice before, this night belonged to Johnson. He showcased calm over chaos and timing over power. Zellhuber fought through adversity, but Johnson's veteran savvy proved decisive. The judges scored all 3 rounds 29-28, and a unanimous decision win lit up the arena. Post-fight, Johnson credited his enduring spirit. "My hat's off to Daniel, but tonight I taught the young buck a lesson." His words echoed not arrogance, but validation, a statement that his era wasn't over. This win marked Johnson's first back-to-back victory streak since 2018, and it launched public reappraisal of his status as a fighter. At 24-19, with nearly 4 decades of life behind him, he remained dangerous, a dangerous veteran with fast hands, smarts, and resilience. Johnson's journey in the cage has always reflected more than a fight record. Beneath his Menace persona lies a man molded by loss, obscurity, and steely determination. His father's death, his scramble for identity through wrestling and football, his grind through regional circuits, all culminated in a fighter who never flinched from pain. His climb in UFC was no less rugged. Each matchup, Diaz, Barbosa, Lauzon, could have ended him. Instead, he secured shock victories and thrilling losses. By the time he faced Khabib and Gaethje, it felt like he was trading blows with destiny itself. Johnson's approach on fight night remains meticulous. He studies opponents, weaponizes his southpaw stance, exploits timing, and knows when to trade and when to reset. Rather than relying on brute force, he uses angles, combinations, and a mental edge built on survival. Outside the cage, Johnson is known for his loyalty to coaches, training partners, and roots. He fought out of top camps like Sanford and Killcliff FC and earned a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under Gilbert Burns. That blend of wrestling, grit, jiu-jitsu, and striking underscores the well-rounded warrior he became after nearly 2 decades. He's not flashy, but reliable. He's not dominating, but steady. Fighter by fighter, camp by camp, miles logged in sparring hours. With UFC 318 behind him, he's set to continue that journey. Analysts speculate he still has a few strong years left. His next stops will likely involve mid-tier contenders and perhaps a shot at a ranked fight. All of it depends on how long he can keep recharging from that fuel within. What's clear is that Johnson is carving a late-career legacy, not as a champion, but as an enduring fixture. A man who faced all comers, embraced heat and heartbreak, and refused to bow. He's a contemporary of legends, a mentor to younger fighters, and an underdog who's become a standing example of longevity. His story carries lessons. Loss can light fire, suffering humanizes, and survival is the greatest victory. At nearly 40, he is still teaching those lessons inside the cage. His win over Zellhuber wasn't a headline, but it was a reminder that the fight doesn't belong to youth or hype. It belongs to heart. When his fighting days eventually end, Michael Johnson will be remembered not for what he was, but for what he represented: resilience, longevity, combat authenticity, and the undying competitor who kept showing up, even when the Saints had long forgotten the hype.